children, come, come.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis on the... but that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you...
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies. And if you were lucky enough, but almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, in any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact... goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an adeptus, Granny, the person
Yes. I suppose...
She counts? How come there are so many adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out...
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of...
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yanfei. She's the one helping run some... Yanfei, I believe you already heard.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any... A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talk.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, they had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of...
Is that so? Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a Hold on.
That's a real...
Commercial consultancy. Or... Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem.
Wow. An Adept... Best we be a little more...
Hello, Mr. Crossel.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that...
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss... The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item...
Guaranteed genuine? With 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false? Yes.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need.
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives? We'd like...
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel.
Skyward! Scatter!
So, are you buying or not?
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossel that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at...
The hairpins? I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up... My family is in the ore business too, but we now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of, that's what the hairpins were for, well, to keep up appearances. I can't have them look, but now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really?
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr.
Huh? Well, I mean...
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? True. Though surely there must be...
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market, and given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like she's about to...
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding...
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to...
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over that. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But so hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone set into... My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so...
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine it.
Skyward! Scatter!
I should open a store here.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Juchao and tow. You lost them!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mora! Do you have any idea what... I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. It was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid...
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay...
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back...
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins?
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins...
What do you mean? Are you implying that...
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a... Mr. Chow, did you at any time...
No, not at all. I felt perfect...
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to...
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. And then he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way.
Well then, since you're...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? It feels like Yanfei is even more...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me, anywhere commissioned but not bound...
I understand. Then...
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page.
This contract has so many pages!
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract.
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem, I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like...
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong... Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, also, the idea of someone abusing the... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the... If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter?
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine? I do... That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it to...
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It...
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and... Yes! It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially... I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus...
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come just...
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across... These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep under... There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but... And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off...
But, never mind, Shirto.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
Miss Yen...
If you could just confirm...
yeah.
Then I have...
Of course.
Oh, I have this document. I wouldn't say that...
With this hard evidence...
On the contrary, if you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha!
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of... As you know, but the amendments made... As such...
So you helped...
Yes, well...
You...
You sound surprised. Oh, this has enough...
Again with that...
Well, that's that then.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Oh, Miss Yen...
Have no further... Has a merchant...
Crossell, the design of this order was on hold for a very long time.
Doesn't seem like...
Miss Inksy.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Crossell wasn't... I also kept a copy for my own records. The inlaid gem.
Thank you, Sing Sing.
Sure, it isn't.
Nothing you need to worry about.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to
I believe
the weirdo with the...
because once we have...
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
My. And if it isn't
No.
Smaragd, the seven it is abundant. And I suppose
That is indeed the...
no trouble at. But after I wonder, you're too.
That Baidu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that.
Miss Yanfei, have you...
Yes,
Wonderful.
of course, Mr. Crossell.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay?
Not at all. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price...
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake?
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, this is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at...
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of... Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of...
What?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus? No idea, you say? I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that... Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No, The hairpins...
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will... Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like...
I admit it. I confess. But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time, but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme. I went to Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money... That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost... I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it...
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal...
I didn't want to either, But when I purchased that smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how... If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hair...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on...
10 times.
Crozal looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum...
20%? That's as much as I spent...
There's no need. Even if the smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake,
Ms. J...
However, Mr. Crozal, since you have no use for that chunk of smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give...
What? But I...
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this smaragdus jadeite over to...
Well, that's not quite how the rules say...
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, come on. No need...
Well...
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crozal, it seems that my client has no...
Is that...
Actually, Mr. Crozal, I could see from the hairpins you produced that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, if we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too.
Exactly.
The right solution to... The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her and adept it. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by the title of adept. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue...
Paimon can think of someone who would...
Well, since we got what we came for...
Yeah! Skyward!
Ah, you've returned. Good, good.
Well, if we're all set...
Oh, you.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you... I've been looking at...
Come now.
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows. Yanfei. Leave. All right, then.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
There we go. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you would...
Wait a minute, Gran...
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Huh?